Hi, welcome back to the Jac and Glen channel. I'm Jackie.
And I'm her husband, Glenn.
He's my husband.
Hey, before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you won't miss any of our reviews. Tonight we're talking about Ready to Love, Season 7, Episode number 7. A little help from my friends. Just a little help from my friends. A little help from my friends. What we see on this episode of Ready to Love is that the contestants, the women are in charge.
Participants.
Participants.
Let's not call them contestants.
The participants. Participants, the women who are in charge, have to introduce the men to some of their friends, which was suggested by Tommy. So, where you want to get started? Let's go there.
First, I want to say that Tranika was like, these guys is in trouble if they meet my friends.
Yeah.
I got some friends that's going to get all in there.
Get all up in this sauce.
So, but first, we saw Jamala. And we know Jamala got a thing for rah-rah. And she was saying, you know, I'm going to introduce you to Randall Rah-Rah. They was like, oh, he got a nickname already? Oh, okay. It's serious, huh? It's like that. And so I can't remember their names. She introduces, one of them is her soror, and the other one's just a friend of hers.
Yeah.
And so they introduce her, introduce them to Randall.
Randall.
And it's like, you know, how you feel about Jamala. He's like, you know, I like her. You know, I want somebody that's going to be my best friend. So I'm like, you know, she's in that space. Like, she's my best friend. You know, I feel comfortable here. Like, and she was like, oh, I'm your BFF. And she cuddles up with him and everything. And they have a nice little talk. He made a really good impression on her friends.
Yes. And
they liked him a lot in the end. Jamala made the comment that, you know, when he left, he gave, you know, she kissed them walking out, and then by the car, she said they've been kissing a whole lot more.
They were kissing. He likes Jamala, and I think he's just entertaining the other women. I think he's entertaining Tranika, and he's entertaining Kayla. I think Jamala's the one that he really wants to be with and deals with. You know, they ask him where he's from. He tells them he's from D.C., and, you know, he'd been down here for a few months and all that, but I think he really likes Jamala. Jamala's the one that he wants to be with. But he can't let the other ones go because I don't think for sure. I think he's playing the field, which I believe is going to mess him up, in my opinion.
But isn't that the point of the show? He's doing what the point of the show is.
It is, but I think at a certain time, when you this far in, I think you find that person. When you find that person, you start to cultivate that relationship more with that person. That you start to weed people down and weed people out. That's my thoughts on that.
So then we see Kadian.
Yeah.
Kadian has her friend Ching.
That's not her real name.
It cannot be.
I don't think that's her real name. But anyway, it's Ching.
I feel like that's just so...
But she's Asian and black.
She is. And I feel like that is just so...
Maybe that's her...
Why would you name her Ching?
Maybe that's her stage name. Let me stop. That girl, I don't even know she
not that kind of dance. I mean, why you go... I mean, it'd be her stage name for comedy or singing.
Singing, whatever.
You apologize like you said it was another kind of stage name.
Like, I ain't trying to say nobody.
Like they did Dominica.
Like I said, Dominica. So I don't want to insinuate anything. But I don't think her real name is Ching. So.
No, I don't think so either. But Kadian introduces her friend Ching to Swasey. And Swasey came in, you know, Swasey.
Like Swasey,
you know, real cool. Like, hey, good to see you. What's up with you? And Ching kind of goes in on him. Okay.
But see, that's what I don't like though, because she brought Ching in to go in on Swasey. To me, if you're in a relationship or you're trying to cultivate a relationship, I'm not gonna bring my rah-rah friend, my friend, right, on the person that I'm trying to go to a relationship with.
But that's what Tommy said. Get your friend that's going to help you, you know, weed out who don't need to be there. So I would bring that friend.
It's different to weed out and then to put Roundup on it and kill it. Right? It's different about pulling the weeds, but she just threw Roundup on this relationship and it may die. We know when you put too much Roundup on stuff, we can ask our neighbor. The tree ain't there no more.
I don't think so. You talking about it's going to die, but I don't, because based on what Kadian says later, you know, I mean,
I think she's still feeling Swasey, but her girl went it really. I think they took it overboard. In my opinion, it went too far, and it's a misinterpretation that was going on during this situation.
Yeah. Oh, and I will add. I mean, as TV is, the preview, it made you think something other than what actually happened.
It did.
And so Ching says, okay, so when was your last serious relationship? He said 3 years ago. And so you've been a serial dater. You've been on dating apps. He said, I'm on apps.
Yeah.
You got on apps. So in your last 3 years of serial dating, you know, have you dated any black women?
He said, I dated all women.
Well, that's what he said before that. He doesn't have a type. He like all women. But in these 3 years, he been serial dating from the dating apps. He was like, they all been Latina. And she was like, so you ain't dating no?
He's in Miami.
Right.
Not like he's in Colorado. He's in Miami.
Well, in Colorado, he wouldn't be dating Latinos.
But that's what my point is.
Right.
That's my point. He's where there's a lot of Latin women at. There's a lot of African American women out of Miami. He might have matched up with the Latino women. Matter of fact, he may be his fire department may be in a Latin neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So that's who he interacted with. And you know, I didn't like that because you insinuated that African American men or men in general, which he goes into later on. My daughter's mother is black.
Well, that was his thing.
And my daughter's black. It's not that. Don't say I don't date black women. I'm on a black show, on a black network, kind of black network, with 10 other black women.
Yeah.
But you try to insinuate that I don't date black women?
But he said, I have dated black women. Obviously, because Kadian tried to say, you said you wouldn't date a black woman. He said, that's not what I said. And and like you said, in his vignette, he was like, shoot, my mother's black. My daughter's mother is black. So my daughter's black. So you want to tell, Ching said it was a red flag because she was like, I'm Asian and black. It's a red flag to me that a black man doesn't date black women. And he said, you know, when she was like accusatory of that with him, that was a trigger for him and he was not happy.
Again, I point out he's on a black show, trying to date a black woman.
But I guess that's what they're trying to weed out. Are you on here for the show because you ain't dating no black women? So are you on here for the show, or are you on here to show yourself off?
No, he's on here to try to find. Kadian should know that as much as they kick it, and as much as they have fun, much they hang out. He ain't that great of an actor. It ain't that much. And we've seen people on here act, but he ain't that great of an actor. I think he's really feeling her.
Oh yeah, he's definitely feeling her.
Yeah, man. So to go there, I mean, bro was hot to the point he ain't want to eat.
Yeah,
and she
was like, oh, you mad you don't want to eat? He was like, nah. And then he got up and he was like, I ain't here for this, what did she say? He said,
it's foolishness, but you can suck
dog, what did he say?
You can suck a
No, he saying for this sucker-ish.
Oh.
That's what he said. I'm not here for this sucker-ish.
Oh.
That's what he said. Thank you. He didn't say you could suck him.
That's what I thought he said.
No, he would not be that rude. He was talking to Kadian.
Oh.
No, he's like,
I read the lips wrong.
I'm not here for this sucker-ish. And so, like, he left. He did give her a hug before he left.
He thought about it, though. He said, well, because you can see him, you can see the wheels turning. He was about to go to the car. He's like, you know what? I still need to show her some love, so let me go. But I ain't dealing with her friend Ching.
Yeah, Ching went in.
Yeah, Ching went in. Like I told you, I wasn't feeling Ching. I wasn't feeling Kadian because the way that she set it up and the way they organized it was like, we getting ready to bash this dude. And I was like, you know how we do, girl. You know how we do. Like, what? It's a way to get answers to questions without becoming confrontational, without being demeaning.
I said combative.
Yeah. And so what she does and what she has done has put him down, and it almost questions, do he still want to be with you after that? You know, who wants to be with somebody who always starting stuff? And she has been on it, and I'm not nothing against. I like her, but it's not. She's been on this show. She started some stuff. Mm-hmm. She started some stuff. So absolutely, yeah, she a starter.
Mm-hmm. We see Tranika, and we already know Tranika's gonna have. I figured she'd at least have Randall and LJ, but she also invited Justice out. The one thing I do not like about these kind of meet your friends and meet your family thing is, bro, you know how awkward it is to have all three of them there at the same time. I feel like you should do them separate.
You know how awkward it is to be the third guy that comes. I want to be the first guy. I want to be, if I got to do this, if I had to do this, I want to be the guy that shows up first. I get the time, and other dudes come. At least I get my time in by myself. I get things done, and when other dudes can come in, you know what, boo? Thank you for the time. I appreciate you. I can leave. I might even get there 20, 30 minutes early, right? So I can have that extra time.
Well, LJ showed up first to meet Tranika's friends, Dr. Bridget and Jessica the pilot. And they're out there hitting golf balls, and we thought it was odd they were hitting it into the water. Like, who's getting them out the water?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty odd. But anyway, it seemed like it's pretty cool because I go hit golf balls now throughout the day, so I am working. So anybody ask, I am working, but I go hit golf balls.
Not at all. And so, you know, they sit and have a chat with, they talk to LJ, but then while LJ is, you know, hitting the balls, Justice comes in. And so, you know, they're like, let's sit and talk to you. And so they really try to get into Justice, like asking him questions.
It's like pulling teeth. Dude, it's
he's like trying to be so deep, and where do you see yourself in 5 years? I don't. It's whatever the Lord, whatever God says, and that's true. But where do you see yourself?
The Bible says he wants to go deep. My people perish for the lack of knowledge. The Bible talks about having a vision and making it plain. Where there's no vision, right? My people perish, right? So he has no vision. So you have no vision, since Justice wants to use the word. Guess what? You may not go anywhere, bruh.
And then he was like, "I'ma just refer to you Jeremiah 29:11. Just that's where I'm at, Jeremiah 29:11." And I'm like, bruh, okay, you should follow that up by saying it, but he didn't. So what if they're not Bible people?
What if they're not religious? And what Jeremiah 27, I have expected end for you. This is not your expected end, right? God has expected end for you. He wants you to go to a certain place. There's an end that he has prepared for you. So just in case anybody was checking out, Jeremiah 29:11.
For I know the plans I have for you, saith the Lord. But anyway, and you know, they sit and talk to Randall. You know, he seemed pretty cool. Randall, are you a ladies' man or whatever? He was like, I mean, I can be. You know, it just depends on the person. But he was like, you know, how? Because basically, I'm kind. You know, I talk to, you know, everybody, and you know, we have a good time. And so in the end, her friends was like, for Justice, we can smell that dog poo from a mile away.
Everybody can smell that crap.
It's BS. They wasn't feeling Justice. They felt like Randall was cool, but he says he thinks because that's the way he is with the other women. Kind of like, you know, he's coming across as a ladies' man, but they really liked LJ.
LJ was smooth. The island brother. LJ was smooth. LJ understood what was going on, and he was real. Like I said, he was the first one there. To my point, he was the first one there. He had time to cultivate that relationship. He had time to build that and meet with the friends and have the interaction one-on-one. Everybody else came in late, and they felt, even Randall felt some type of way when he showed up. And we all know Justice felt some type of way too, so he didn't care. He didn't care.
Absolutely. We see Sharice introduce her friend Rochelle to Samson. It's like the opposite of Samson. But he's got a P in his name, but the opposite of Samson, because we know Samson had hair.
Yeah.
But maybe the strength is in his scalp.
Maybe there's tattoos. You never know, right?
It might be. But Sharice introduces her friend Rochelle to Samson. And, you know, he comes in, gives her a hug and a kiss. And then he was like, you know, shakes the hand of her friend Rochelle. And she was like, oh, that's what we doing? He was like, no, I give you a hug and kiss too.
I don't know. Maybe Rochelle was like, I think she was feeling Samson.
I think when he came in, she was like...
She was feeling Samson a little bit too. She wanted to embrace Samson. She wanted to see what Samson smelled like.
She said,
She was happy because she was a tall drink of water too.
She was. Well, and even the dog... He said even the dog greeted him. The dog was liking him.
The dog showed some love to Samson. So.
But, you know, they sat and had a little conversation, you know, try to figure out what Samson is about and what makes you think you're ready to love and get married or whatever. And he was like, how old did I tell you I was? He was like, that's it right there.
My age.
He was like, I'm getting older. You know, I want to get married. This is one of the things I want to do. But he's serious about it. Again, with all the ladies, like Samson is showing up. He's bringing gifts. He's bringing pleasantries. You know, he's kind.
But he having a great conversation with them too. I mean, he's, and I'm not saying he's just telling them what he. You know, who Samson reminded me. Remember, that's how Jay was in the Houston season.
Yeah.
Until he found Joy, right?
Yeah.
Jay till he found Joy. But anyway, till he found Joy, his connection with Joy, that he was that pleasant type. He was that pleasant type person. And so Samson is being who he really is. I think he's very authentic. I think he is who he is. He's not buying them expensive gifts, but he's buying them thoughtful gifts, whether it was the journal and different things like that. So, I mean, he's playing where he's at, and I think that's why everybody likes Samson.
Yeah, but he's nice anyway. So he made a really good impression on Rochelle, and you know, in his vignette, he was joking. He said, you know, I enjoyed meeting with Rochelle. Maybe she'll be at the wedding, because he said he's ready to get married.
Yo, he's ready. He's ready to go in. I can't remember if he had kids or not.
I thought so.
Yeah, I can't remember if he had a child, but he said he's ready to go in.
I thought so. All right. So then we see Kayla introduces her friend Kelly there to. Kelly's there to field the guys for her, and so she has Randall and Mike. Mike came in first.
Yeah.
Mike came in first, and you know, it's like, what's going on with you and Kayla? You know, I could tell she's feeling you. You know, you got other connections. He was like, yeah, I got another connection. You know, but me and Kayla, you know, it's something there.
He never says Kayla. So
yeah, it's Kayla. It's another way he don't say Kayla.
That's Southern twang.
Kayla. I don't know, but I was like, why you keep calling her Kayla? It's just like, I don't even want to say that.
No.
We got a family member to put R's on the end of names.
Yeah,
too.
don't do that. Don't do that.
I love them. But, so, you know, Mike's really cool or whatever, talking to Kelly. But, you know, Mike said his problem is she kissed other guys. I ain't kissed nobody. And he was like, this empty chair, you probably gonna have
another dude here.
One of the dudes she kissed coming here. He was like, that's where I'm stuck at. Like,
which I don't understand, man. Bro, you know you was on this show, right? Are you that? I don't want to say.
No, I think his thing is, so you want me to be number 3? I ain't in the habit of just kissing people after people.
Right, I understand that because he's been married for a long time and he hasn't been out there like that. But what I'm saying is that, bro, you definitely know that what this show is, right? You definitely know this show is a dating show. And there's some people who interact with other people. There's some people who date, they kiss, right? Let's not be so naive. She kissed somebody before she kissed the people on the show. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I ain't never met them.
But I'm saying, but she kissed somebody other than the people that's on the show. So, that's all I'm saying.
And so, like I said, when Randall came in, you know, he's talking about the connection he has with Kayla, and Mike's like, see, yep, this one of the ones right here. She been kissed. He done put his lips on her.
He done put his lips on her.
I'm like, Mike, really? And so, the one thing that Kelly said to her was, I feel like you're not giving Randall a proper chance. She said, I see him looking at you, like so focused on you while we sitting here eating, and you sitting over there staring at Mike.
And Randall said that. Randall said, I can see that she's not even looking me in the eye to eye. She's not looking directly into me, or that she's not feeling, that she felt uncomfortable because she keeps squirming in her seat. She keep moving. She's fidgety. You know, and maybe Mike made her feel fidgety. But I do like her with the straight hair. I like her both ways, but the straight hair is a different look. Yeah.
So when her friend said that, you know, she was like, you know I need someone like Randall. I need to do something different in this process. Like this, I didn't come in this process to do what I usually do.
Right. And
I need someone like Randall. And, you know, Kelly was like, yeah. So then we see, which I think is funny, Brandy has her friend Nakota. And she said, I got 2 potential guys to introduce to you. And I was like, who's the other one?
Right, because you only saw Brandy with Mike.
Well, no, she went out. She did go out with Samson, but I'm like,
you didn't see that connection that was there, right? You always figured Brandy and Mike was like, yo, peas in a pot, like Joy and Clifton. Right.
Or again, Jay and Joy.
Or Camille. and Cornelius. People may not like it, and you may jump on it, but they did have a relationship from the beginning, from day one. Camille and Cornelius did rock with each other. Mm-hmm. So
they still together.
They're still together.
Wow.
Look what the Lord did.
Wow. Anyway, so Samson shows up first, and he goes in to hug her and give her the flowers, and the way they went, they didn't turn their heads enough as smack up on the lips.
Want to demonstrate?
No. And smack up on the lips. And he was like, well, some tulips for your tulips.
Some tulips for your tulips. And she was like,
oh my God.
Oh my God.
I know she went and told Mike.
She had to tell Mike.
But I know he was mad, like, what happened?
It's not like she intentionally kissed the dude.
No,
it was just one of those mistakes, and then it just happened.
She didn't. But I like Samson. He, like I said, he shows up for the women. You know what I'm saying? They talking. He was like, I'm attracted to her. I know she got another connection. And when he said he was attracted to her, Brandy was like, I never heard this before. Mm-hmm. Like she said, she knew it was an attraction there, but not so much like a physical thing. Yeah. And it was like, she said, I never heard this before. And he said, so for real, he said, I think you're beautiful. I'm attracted to you physically. And she was like, oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
I hadn't heard that. I wasn't sure.
But I go back to what Tommy said later on. Like, you talk to Michael or you talk to Samson on the phone, because he usually don't have phone conversations with people. And so I think that's one of the big things too, because they never really had that interaction on the phone. Yeah,
she said she thought it was just a head thing, like an emotional type connection that they had. But then Big Mike comes in, and Big Mike came with a gift, not just and. Bruh, let me tell you, the way he came in, he said, I brought something for Dakota too. Like, he knows about Dakota. He done heard about Dakota.
Right.
This ain't no new person. So he was like, he brought something for Dakota, and he brought something for Brandy.
He's trying, and this ain't Mike's first rodeo to this.
Nah.
To this friend thing. He's been on a couple, right? I'm just saying. So he's trying to and this is his girl. This is the one he likes. This is the one he want to be with, right? Mm-hmm. He want to put his best foot forward. So what he gonna do is he gonna bring Dakota a gift. And as well as Brandy, like, this is what I'm gonna do. This is who I am, because I really want to win this girl over.
Mm-hmm. And so Dakota talks about the fact that I know Mike, you're a father, you got kids already, and do you want to have more kids? Would you have them with my friend? And he was like, I'm open to it. Mm-hmm. He said, I love being a father. I'm open to it. That's what she wants or whatever. In the end, when Samson leaves, he was like, I realize I see the connection with her and Mike. I'm aware of that, but. He was like, she has options, and she has choices she can make. I'm going to show up. I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna do what I can do. I know they got a connection, but I'm trying to foster that connection too. And in the end, Brandy was like, "Who is it? Who you feeling?" She was like, "Listen." When Samson came in, I was like, "Ooh, I like him." Okay. Then when Mike came in, she was like, well, wait a minute. I like him too. She said, friend, I don't know. Dakota was no help to Brandy. She was like,
you supposed to help me out. You supposed to make a decision. She's like, nah, I can't help you neither. Because she like, I like both of them too.
Yeah. She was like, I like both of them for different reasons. Yeah. I don't have, she didn't have nothing bad to say about neither one of them. No. Brandy in a hard place. But she said, Mike he's been up there.
Mike's been more consistent.
Yeah.
He's been more consistent.
So. All right, so then we see Looney. Looney has her friend Ebony, and they meet up with Justice and then LJ. And
because Looney loved her some LJ.
Justice said he felt good going into this meeting her friend, because she's one of his biggest connections. Mm-hmm. And so Ebony jumps right in. It's like, how you feel about sex? And here goes Justice. I don't really think about sex. I don't really see sex. I could have sex just looking at you. Sex can happen anytime. All kind of ways, mentally and through the eyes, and all
why you gotta do your
ways.
face like that?
I'm not a hit and quit it kind of guy. I don't do that. I'm like, nigga, just say. Oh.
But you're fine. Go and keep it rolling. You good. But he was just like, Justin was an NBA player. Not NBA. He played basketball. So you know he said I've been around a lot of women. I've been a lot of things. So I've seen. Look, you could have said worse.
No, I couldn't have.
No, but
it's not me.
You know, those type of situations. So he said he's been around women, but just the whole time, the way Justice is sitting.
I don't want to talk no more.
He's sitting there like this. He's just chilling with his arm across his chest. He's so lackadaisical, moving his lips up. Yeah. So, Justin has no look. He's not it. Justin is Justice. I go back to what he said in previous episodes. He's not here for Ready to Love. Justice is here for TV and his event planning.
That's what. That's the one thing he said when he came up. He was like, "I'm an event planner." She's like, "Oh, I'm getting married soon," and he was like, "We could do that. We do weddings, bar mitzvahs, all of that."
Yeah, he's there for business, man. He's not there for anything else. He's there for business.
Right. So then LJ comes in all swaggy and everything, and he barely sits down, and Ebony hits him. How you feel about sex? And he was like, listen, I'm an island boy. I got a high sex drive. So she was like, well, can you wait 90 days for her? Because that's her thing. She want to wait 90 days. And he was like, in his vignette, he was like, no, I'm not.
She would read that Steve Harvey book.
90. But, bro, 90 days, you can't wait 90 days?
3 months, to make sure the relationship is good before she give you the candy dish. Before you get the good.
I don't understand.
He said he couldn't wait 90 days. Which we'll find out in the next episode. Was that him? Yeah.
But LJ felt good because he was like, you know, he's got connections. Looney is one of them, and she's actually at the top. He said to Ebony, though, but she don't return my phone calls. I call her, she don't return my phone calls. And Looney was like, okay, here's the thing. I'm not really a phone person, so I'm not going to return your phone call. You know, I should do better. I just don't like talking on the phone or whatever. And so in the situation, LJ said he felt like Justice had the upper hand. Yeah. Kind of like what you said, because he got there first. He made the impression first. And just when he didn't hear the conversation with the sex thing, but he kind of gathered they probably didn't like my response to that. But in the end, Ebony tells Looney, I like Justice. You know, y'all look good together. She was like, I'm team Justice. And she was like LJ's cool, but I don't like him for you so much. I don't like him for you.
Yeah, because LJ said he's really ready to get it in. He ain't worried about the 90 days. That's the problem. That's the problem.
All right, so next it's time for the ladies' lounge. The ladies go back to meet up with Tommy and give him the rundown of when their friends met with the guys. And so he was like, who I'm gonna start with? Brandy. Brandy was like, oh, okay, you gonna start with me? Well, let me tell you, my friend loved both of them. She was no help. I was like, come on, girl, she couldn't give me a good conclusion, you know. And Tommy's like, well, who you leaning towards? She was like, I'm leaning towards Mike, but I'm feeling Samson too. I wanted her to be like, absolutely not. You know, her friend did not help her at all. And I understand. Because both, they good, you know, they good guys.
They're good guys.
But I think what she wanted was like, who would be best. And I guess her friend was like, either one of them is good for you.
I mean, I think her friend should have made a decision on which one based off of who she's seen Brandy with in the past.
Right.
And based off what she know Brandy needs in the future.
Right.
You make a decision. That was the point. Make a decision for one. Pick one or
for that.
For that. So, pick one.
Kayla said she introduced her friend Kelly to Mike and Randall. And she said I got more of a connection. I think her more of a connection with Mike is one-sided.
I think it's her side.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's her side.
She said I got more of a connection with Mike than with Randall, but you know, my
sexual energy though.
My friend, yeah, that's it.
Mike and Kayla have sexual energy.
That's all it is.
That's what it
is. It's lust. It's lustful. It's that. Ooh, I like him. That's what she is. And she says, you know, I know Randall is what I need, and he's better for me or whatever. And so then Jamala says, you know, I introduced Randall to my friends, and, you know, I think that was the most comfortable I've ever seen him. He was, like, really comfortable in there. My friends really loved him. You know, they was like, okay, we feeling Randall. Cherise says she tells him she introduced her friend Rochelle to Samson, and they was like, you know, he did well. Rochelle was really impressed with him, and she was like, you know, I think he's good for you. Keep pushing, keep doing what you doing to, you know, cultivate that connection. Looney says, just straight up, my friend was Team Justice. And he my top priority now. My friend was Team Justice. So that's what it is. They was like, Tommy was like, okay, Team Justice.
And ain't nobody argue with it because nobody else is Team Justice.
Nobody. Well, we get to that. Looney said, Tranika said, LJ was in the hot seat with her friends, but her friends liked them. Randall was a close second.
Yeah.
But they called Justice the Joker. They said they smelled the dog poo from a mile away when he was coming up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they was like not liking Justice. I don't like him. I don't like him.
Don't care for him.
I don't like him. And Kadian talked about introducing her friend Ching to Swasey and how, she was like, I don't really want to get into what happened, but it was not a good interaction. She was like, I don't want to get into it because I didn't talk to him. And here goes Sharice interjecting. Sharice was like, well, Swasey called me. He was really upset. And he said, that y'all was on him because he only dated Latina girls. Like, he didn't date black girls. Never really hurt his feelings, whatever.
Sharice messy. Leave that crap alone.
Kadian said, well, I didn't want to bring it up until I talked to him because I hadn't talked to him.
Right.
But since you brought it up, I ain't going to go a whole lot into it. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, he said he been on the dating apps and none of the people he got matched with was black. And, he left the date mad. And he said, again, I ain't got time for no sucker-ish. And she said she hadn't had a chance to talk to him. And Sharice said again in her vignette, like, Swasey was really messed up about it.
But again, Sharice, I know she's just giving information on it. But again, Kadian told Tommy, look, I'm not going to go there. I don't want to go there. And she had the right to say that. But Sharice opened a can of worms. I mean, she went there. I think Sharice is messy and I think Kadian's messy.
Oh, for sure.
I think both of them are messy. And when you get two messy people together,
it's a mess.
It's a mess. Big mess.
So, all right. So, Tommy said, okay, who you not feeling? And Looney says, for me, it's Swasey, mainly because I haven't had a chance to talk to him or make a connection. And then she also said, I'm sitting here listening. That red flag for me is this dating app history with just the Latina girls and you here with black girls.
Right.
I have a problem with that. Sharice said for her it's Mike. They haven't had a connection. She says, she talks to Justice on the phone and Tommy's like, oh, he took my advice. I told him he needed to be talking on the phone.
Yeah.
But it's not really there for her.
Well, her and Mike had that issue anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so ever since that issue, Mike done left her alone.
Yeah. Brandy says for her, I think Brandy said it too, but I know Tranika said it's Justice for her.
Yep.
Not on top of her list. For Brandy, LJ's cool, but I feel like he's in a friend zone. We in a friend zone.
Friend zone.
Jamala said, yeah, LJ comes off as just, a really good friend. He's a good guy.
Just a friend.
But it just comes off as a friend.
Said he's just a friend.
So we see Kayla and Looney are the ones that got to talk to the guys.
Yeah. And
Kayla goes out with Justice. And Justice is kind of feeling like, I'm intrigued. This is my first date with Kayla. Want to see how this go. Now, LJ reals. LJ is smart.
LJ's smart.
Ooh, best friend, you smart.
Well, yeah, you best friend, you smart.
He's smart. Because LJ was like, I know it's after the ladies' lounge. And you getting... Be very afraid when you get the call for a date after the ladies' lounge. Justice ain't up on game. LJ should have put him up on game.
Because Justice is not there for dating. Justice is there to promote whatever he's doing. Justice said it. Justice said he don't like to be chased. He wants to...
That ain't what he said.
No, he said he don't like to chase women. Sorry. He don't like to chase women. He want to be in a place and he just go find them. Mm-hmm. No, not find them, but they're right there in eyesight. He ain't chasing nobody.
Kayla tried to be funny. He was like, I just want to know, do you know my name? He was like, I know your name, Kayla. And, Justice like, they never really spent any time together. And, Kayla's like, never, ever. Never have we.
None.
And so, he was like, he's glad for the time together. And his thing is, he says, I'm not into this, but he said, I'm not into chasing. I just choose.
Right.
And a woman got to position herself to get chosen. I ain't chasing after nobody. I'm like,
yo, he try to sound so deep, but it comes off foolish.
Shallow.
He try to come off so deep, but it's foolish. Brother, grow up.
And she shares that in the process, the ladies feel like, you've been invasive, talking around things. And some of the ladies that really like you are hoping that you would show up and impress their friends. And it was frustrating for them because you didn't do that, and they like you. Looney talks to LJ is like, he was like, just go for it. Just get into it. She was like, oh, okay, you know what time it is? All right. So let's have this discussion. Mm-hmm. And, they were like, she says, everybody thinks you're very sweet and caring, but they're getting more of a friend vibe from you. And, she was concerned about that. And he says, but I am very interested. I'm trying to show my interest. Yeah. And so in the end, Kayla tells Justice, you're not ready to love. And Looney tells LJ, you are ready to love, which is, where does that leave Looney? Because her friend was Team Justice. She was Team Justice.
She gonna try to hook up with LJ.
She gonna do LJ.
She gonna try to hook up with LJ. I mean, and then because it's men weak to eliminate a woman, so now it becomes a little. It starts to get down to the nitty gritty. This one I like because you start having connections gone. So now we get to see who gets ready to get up out of here.
So for Justice, he was like, "It's cool, it's whatever." He said, "It's okay." He said, "I ain't never really worried about people's opinions. I can see that it's projection, and I can see through the BS. I see what it is, but I don't really worry about what people say." For LJ, he says, again, and he's heard this before. I got to try to dig deeper, make some better connections, more meaningful connections, and that's where I'm going to go with it. So that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, Justice is gone. I think everybody happy Justice is gone. Because think about it. Justice, what did Justice really actually show you while he was here? None. Not a god darn thing. Unless that now, okay, we all know how people do. When they come to the reunion, everybody can say, "Oh, Justice is gonna be like that was edited, man. I did much more than that. They edited me like that. Nah, bro, that's who you are. That's who you are. You're deep. You wouldn't feel none of these women in the first place. You wanted somebody that you can just pick off the shelf and choose, because you want to be positioning yourself. You didn't want to spend no money. You didn't want to spend a dime. You're cheap, bruh. And in order to do some things, I'm not telling you gotta go buy a diamond ring. You had to go get a Coach bag and none of that. You gotta go buy a yacht, but you can't spend a little money taking out to dinner. Ain't nobody. You're a grown man. You ain't gotta keep taking them to the free circus or the free zoo. You know what I'm saying?
Or to one of your events.
One of your events. Spend a little money. Well, I ain't only spend money on somebody I'm dating with. Why are you on the show?
Anyway.
And most of the stuff
Justice.
And let's be honest, most of the stuff that they paying, these dates that they going on, 9 times out of 10, production's paying for that. Production's paying for the meal, they're paying for whatever case may be. Man, he ain't spending money. He a joker. He a sucker. In a good way. But
bye, Justice.
Bye. But leave a comment in the comment section. Give us your thoughts on the whole Swasey and Kadian situation. Was it blown out of proportion? Did Katie and her friend blow it out of proportion? Did Swasey blow it out of proportion? Did Swasey just jump the handle for no reason at all? Or do you guys believe Swasey only date Latino women? And
I don't think he does.
And is that a problem, though? For some people, it is.
I mean, it's a problem if, that's a whole nother video. But it's hate for your own people, It's that's what it comes across. But anyway.
Hey,
just set me up.
I ain't set you up.
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't set you up. You said it. But anyway.
That's on my dad.
Why?
Because I see people.
Oh, make sure you hit the comment section. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell notification so you never miss any of our reviews. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just want to say thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.